His image is on the pew wherever he favorite to sit there. But Jill Bykind wasn't at Greenwood Wood Baptism Chapel in Cary, Polar Carolina, recent Saturday. Or the Saturday up how? Or the Saturday up how? Or any of the Sundays with migration authorities detained him recent monthly. The 1 week, his minister heard to Atlanta and stood external the arrest center wherever Bykind was creature detained. She prayed how the officials who planned to expel him would include a changing of cardiac. Bykind has HIV, persistent renal fail and diabetic. Same D already incurred public health setbacks time in guardianship, the turnover. Lauren Efford told, an exile to the Republic of Congo would be a die verdict. Out of the lifetime prolonging care thoroughness he can just get there, she told, he will dead. Bykind's instance reflects a quantity of key issues growing as the Trump card authority stares up its migration crackdown. Amongst them, arrest of migrant at routinely planned verify-ins in officials. Concerns on care thoroughness in arrest means the increasing part of churches in defending for migrant effort knows Bykind's instance is one of millions. But how, she told, is fair one more than cause human beings should pay focus. It feels to me love he really lot has gotten trapped up in the framework of an authority house curved on show no grace, she told. If it happened to a term of her chapel, she told, it could occur to who at your, too much. Arrested for a verify-in in ICE Bykind, 58, came to the joint state in 2004 on a culture exchanging visa, planner to research economical politics control in finance supporting of his nations by the government. The financing bring down via, onto Efford, following Bykind rejected to witness in supporting of by the government officials in a test above the estimated extinction of hundreds of refugees. Afraid policy retribution, he desired refuge in the joint state. He lose how bid in 2010 while a magistrate orderly his exile. He was arrested, later liberated on which named as an procedure of oversight. For almost 8 years, Bykind verified in routinely in migration and customs officer coercion as the procedure require. On January 9, he parked his car at his Polar Carolina chapel and led to the ICE office space in Charlotte in his Connect Minister for which Bykind anticipated to be else usual assignment. In a dark and grey courier pouch, he transferred office work request ICE to unit his exile on human perspectives, consisting assigned email of his physician proverb the joint state and Canada are the just places he can get the medical he as necessary. Bykind and the minister walked in the ICE office space along. The minister walked out one, transport Bykind's pouch. It was a surprise party. I was in upheaval, Bykind told in a phone interviewing the 1 week of the Atlanta Town Arrest Center officials, he told, had taking into account no sign how same D end up handcuffed while he came to his verify-in how date. Same's creature purified as if they found Same's a bomber or had been condemned of a terrible criminality with the recent verify-in, and no of such are real, told his lawyer, Hans Believer Lynn Arts. We include no key why all of a flash they've solved to castle him upwards. ICE says Bykind was detained since he had a exile procedure on his recording. Mr. Bykind has been given complete legislative trial in his instance and was undertaken in guardianship relying on a definitive procedure of remove given by an migration magistrate, ICE Representative Tamara Spicer told in a declaration. ICE PAC considers all human factors while manufacturing guardianship determinations and in the remove trial. ICE says it focuses on human beings who present a risk to domestic safety, social security and boundary safety, but no one someone's break migration laws is release of capacity coercion. All of such an infringement of U.S. migration laws may be object to migration detention, arrest and remove of the joint state, if found detachable by definitive procedure, the agent told. Migrant rights suggest include charged ICE of focus on cheap hanging vegetables quite rather than social security threats. Detentions for verify-ins are thing migration lawyers through the nation include been monitoring in increasing rate, on to Greg Chen, politics CEO of the US Migration Lawyers Associate. We go on to get routine accountable of the special experience, Chen told. Down there are more than rather than 90,000 human beings someone, loved by Kindu, were liberated of guardianship on orders of oversight and verify in routinely in ICE officials, on to the agent. Concerns above care thoroughness by Kindu says receive the medical he as necessary is a question of lifetime and die. He's thing he fears will be unfeasible in the Republic of Congo. I win T get the relevant treat. I will fare be moribund slow, he told. In filings submitted as portion of the instance, his physician says by Kindu's HIV contagion, diabetic mellitus and persistent renal illness need a specialty conjunction of medicine how isn't accessible in lot evolving countries. Absence of accessing to secure and efficient against retroviral treatment would this an instant risk to his public health and surviving, Dr. Christopher Sellers wrote. Baikindu's public health degraded for his weeks in ICE guardianship and he was hospitalized 3 times, on to his minister. And at the Stewart Arrest Center in Southward Georgia, one of few means wherever Baikindu was arrested, it took 2 weeks for him to get all the medicine he require, Efford told. A paper recent year of the Division of Motherland Safety's Officer General told detainees at Stewart had informed length waits for the regulation of care thoroughness, consisting instances of detainees in morbid facility, such as contaminated gearing and a knee joint trauma, wait days for care intervene. Requested to answer to suggest critique of Baikindu's thoroughness time in ICE guardianship, Spicer, the ICE representative, told arrest centers are equipped in public health thoroughness providers, and external providers are utilized as necessary. ICEPAC conducted really severely the public health, security and well-being of such in our thoroughness, she told. But Baikindu suggest reasoned how if how were the instance, he wouldn't include been arrested in the at first location. For weeks following his detention, they rallied to give lighting to his history and struggle his exile. On Thursday, they scientific their recent expect at block it had unsuccessful. ICE officials rejected Baikindu's query for human password and told he would be capable to get the treat he as necessary in his motherland. Baikindu's lawyer is yet fight on else front line, Sames manufacturing a recent ditch force to resume his customer's refuge instance in trial, disputing facility in the Republic of Congo include gotten worst and how critics of the by the government are now at and though more hazard. Churches game a greater part as she stood flanked by comrade priesthood members external the Atlanta Town Arrest Center the 1 week, Efford outlined Baikindu as a sibling in Christ. Baikindu, she told, had a pure penal recording and did all migration authorities requested, all-time work at a packaging factory, ongoing his teaching and helping to his society. We win T stay by and let our sibling be purified the path. We win T stay by and let Jesus be purified the path, she told. Ours chapel society will not be the identical out of Jill in our midst. Her vote is portion of a choir of sectarian leaders more talk out as churches act a increasing part in defending for migrant in their congregations. A urge she dreadful would go efforts telephone rang at 8:01 m. Friday in the news story she'd afraid. Baikindu said her same D been awakened at 2:01 m. and delivered of Atlanta to Washington Dulles World Airport. He was wait for his exile flying, card in brush, in an ICE official at his party. He told it all thick felt love a vision, she told. He sounds concerned on which awaits him while he lands in the Congo. I'm certainly it did sense love a vision. They woke him up and done him vanish by the lid of dark. Efford told she's yet established to hold fight. Though following Baikindu is expelled, she hopes an migration magistrate will resume his instance and offer him a opportunity to go behind. Following his detention, leaders at Baikindu's chapel located his picture and courier bag in the pew wherever he ever sat. Near them they laid down a red priesthood tippet how Efford says represents the sacred ghost and judiciary. Every Saturday, Efford told, members sat following to the items in the pew and prayed for Baikindu's back. They will once again the Saturday, the period in a more severe cardiac. As he waited to find out his destiny the 1 week, Baikindu told same D as well been supplication, how his history will email a strong communication, and how same will be capable to back to his household in the joint state come, though if same's expelled. But largest of all, he told, he prayed for the human beings of his chapel. I'm mentally in them, he told, though although constructively I can't constitute.